Hey folks, how y'all doing today? Jaime of JLD Instinctive Archery here on the Wingman 115 channel, coming at you guys with a little archery tip, so stick around. Hey folks, thanks again for joining us. So I'm going to talk about shooting drills. Now at this point, you need to know that you have your shooting form down. Your shooting form with a good follow through, because if that hasn't gotten dialed in, then this is all for naught. So basically what's happening here, when I have a student, we've already been shooting probably point blank to the target so that they're really recording their shooting form into their subconscious mind, and they're shooting a good tight group, and they're not having to think so much about what they're doing. And then I'm going to have them slowly take a step back, just inch away from the target, and then they're just going to go ahead and start dumping the quiver, and I'm going to be watching, making sure that they have proper form and follow through, and they're not getting too distracted on where the arrow is impacting, because the most important thing in all of this as instinctive traditional shooters is your form. So we continue to do that, and then dump the quiver, inch away back. So we continue that process, and what's happening is the subconscious mind is recording the distance with the necessary body movements. We're not doing it consciously because we are not shooting sights, we're doing it subconsciously. So by repeating that pattern of dumping out the quiver at one spot, the mind and body connections figures out where it needs to be to hit the desired spot. And then we just take an inch back. We're not traveling yards and paces, we're inching back, so we can slowly do those baby steps that are required for the subconscious mind to record the trajectory. That's why we need to have bright fletching, so that when the arrow is traveling, we record it. The further back we get, the subconscious mind and the mind and body connection, they're recording those trajectories and the body positions that are needed in order for us to hit our mark. So that's what this drill is all about. So at this point, with a brand new student, I just have them dump out the whole quiver. Now, preferably we'd have a target that's probably have a little bit more elevation, but we're working with what we have right now. So we would dump out that quiver, and I would monitor them so that they're maintaining the proper form and follow through. But I also tell them, be consciously aware. Have that conscious awareness that you are doing that form, so you're not just shooting and looking. I don't want to see this kind of a deal. This is what we do not want to do. Come back, pull. So where was the follow through in that? Where was the form in that? So that's very important. So we would stay here, dump out the whole quiver, making sure form and everything is right. And once we do that repeatedly and we feel comfortable, then we shuffle back. Well, as you can see, my shots were a little bit to the left, just a little bit. So if I was further back, that would be magnified. Believe it or not, these are my first shots after many months of not shooting due to our current situation. But you guys get the idea. For those beginning students, at every mark, you dump out that quiver, and then you just take a little step back, dump out that quiver, and you repeat that process, going as far back as you feel comfortable, 10, 15, 20 yard line, whatever, but then you got to inch worm your way back. Actually, I would draw the line at 10 yards, or wherever you start seeing the patterns getting too big, then come back, inchworm your way back. So back and forth systematically. And once you feel comfortable and start seeing tight groups, then you can start pop quizzing yourself at random distances. Because as an instinctive shooter, or a subconscious shooter, when we're out in the woods trying to hunt some bunnies or whatever game, we don't know what their range is. We don't know what distance they're at. So this is how we slowly program those distances into our mind systematically. Thank you very much for your time and attention. I hope you learned something. Catch you on the next one.